The next article I wanted to talk about is titled Pelosi, I'm a Devout Catholic, but that doesn't dictate abortion policy. This is written by Hemant Mehta on the Friendly Atheist website, so let's give it a read and see what it says. Since 1976, the Hyde Amendment has prohibited Congress from using federal funds to pay for abortions, with few exceptions, a move that has directly impacted women who can't afford other options. But a recent draft of a spending bill approved by the House Appropriations Committee excluded the infamous amendment. If it gets signed into law, that unnecessary and cruel ban would be repealed. During her weekly press conference yesterday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi defended the move while invoking her Catholic faith in the process. I actually have the clip, and there's another clip I pulled from Biden about his Catholic faith. So I wanted to give these a watch and see exactly what was being said.
Speaker, there's a bill before the House that would prohibit taxpayer-funded abortion. It's been brought by Republicans 37 times for a vote on the House floor.
What? What is this guy talking about? A bill that's been brought by House Republicans 37 times to prevent abortion? That's not true at all. What is this reporter talking about? I'm completely in the dark here.
For a vote on the House floor, but has been blocked by Democrats. Can you explain why?
That's not true.
It has been blocked by Democrats?
Well, it has been blocked for a vote, to allow a vote on the House floor.
No, that's not true. I haven't heard a word about that. Am I missing something?
The bill.
But it hasn't been blocked by Democrats.
Well, it hasn't been accepted.
Well, we will be voting on it. It was passed in committee. We think it is the right thing to do. It is something that many of us have been concerned about for a long time as an issue of health, as an issue of fairness.
So what he was talking about is something completely different. What she's talking about is what Hemant Mehta was referring to here. A recent draft of a spending bill approved by the House Appropriations Committee excluded the infamous Hyde Amendment. If it gets signed into law, that unnecessary and cruel ban would be repealed. That's what she's talking about. He's just talking nonsense. This doesn't add up at all. I don't know what he's referring to.
And we will send the bills over to the Senate. We'll see. It may be.
No, I'm sorry. I think you misunderstood. It's a bill to prohibit taxpayer-funded abortions.
No one's misunderstanding. You're just talking nonsense. This doesn't exist. I haven't heard a word about this. Seriously, am I missing something? I mean, Nancy Pelosi seems to be missing something here, and she is neck deep in this world 24/7.
To have money go to taxpayer-funded abortion.
Well, that's in the law for Medicaid. You're talking about Medicaid. That's in the law. What we have in our bill is to overturn that.
Yeah, so what he was talking about is the Hyde Amendment, and that's already part of the law.
There's no need to have that. That is the law now.
And the reasons why to have it overturned?
Because it's an issue of health.
You know, I would love it if reporters who are talking directly to the Speaker of the House would know what they're fucking talking about before they go in the chambers. I would absolutely love it.
Of many women in America, especially those in lower income situations and in different states. And it is something that has been a priority for many of us a long time. As a devout Catholic and mother of 5 in 6 years, I feel that God blessed my husband and me with our beautiful family, 5 children, 6 years almost to the day. But that may not be what we should. It's not up to me to dictate that that's what other people should do. And it's an issue of fairness and justice for poor women in our country.
Isn't that fascinating? So her reasoning here is she's Catholic. She believes that life starts at conception. That's the Catholic position, right? But she doesn't believe it's right to dictate that for everybody in the world, or for everybody in the United States. That is an honest, respectable position to me. I can't take issue with that. There are Muslims, there are Jews, and there are Christians and atheists and Hindu and every religion out there in the United States. Why would Nancy Pelosi impose her religious beliefs on people? It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I just can't wrap my head around why anybody would see it differently. You aren't serving Catholics as a politician. You are serving the United States. You are representing a subset of the population, not only Catholics, not only Mormons, like in Mitt Romney's case. So I went digging a little bit, and I found an interesting clip from October 12th, 2012. It was a debate between Paul Ryan, the vice president nominee, Mitt Romney's guy, against Joe Biden, the vice president on Obama's side. So I figured we'd give this a watch because it's the exact same subject they're discussing here back in 2012 and see what Joe Biden had to say on the subject.
I believe that life begins at conception. Those are the reasons why I'm pro-life. Now, I understand this is a difficult issue, and I respect people who don't agree with me on this, but the policy of a Romney administration will be to oppose abortion.
Okay, so he respects people who disagree with him on that. To me, imposing it on them politically is not showing respect for them. I just want to put that on record right now. You show respect for people who have different beliefs than you by not forcing it down their throat. Let's listen to Joe Biden's half of the debate now. That one was Paul Ryan.
Religion defines who I am, and I've been a practicing Catholic my whole life. With regard to abortion, I accept my church's position on abortion as what we call de fide doctrine. Life begins at conception. That's the church's judgment. I accept it in my personal life. But I refuse to impose it on equally devout Christians and Muslims and Jews. And I just refuse to impose that on others, unlike my friend here, the congressman. I do not believe that we have a right to tell other people that women, they can't control their body. It's a decision between them and their doctor. In my view, in the Supreme Court, I'm not going to interfere with that.
Isn't that fascinating? So the guy found a way to show respect for people of different religions. This is fundamentally the problem with the mainstream Republican Party today, dating all the way back to the Obama years. They believe that they're the most important and the most correct no matter what. And they're going to force their decisions and their beliefs down your throat at any cost. Paul Ryan believes that it would be best if everybody lived by his principles in the United States, instead of letting them decide for themselves. Joe Biden took the respectable position, though he disagrees with people who believe in abortion. He respects their right to make those decisions. And FYI, I'm not pro-choice, I'm pro-abortion. I believe that there is nothing wrong with it, it's perfectly okay to do, and it shouldn't be stigmatized the way it is. Anyway, let's keep reading this article by Hemant Mehta. This is Hemant Mehta speaking here. That's the position that Joe Biden, a fellow Catholic, has also taken, and supporting abortion rights in general is backed by 56% of U.S. Catholics. So there's nothing unusual about that stance. Pelosi is saying she's Catholic. She was blessed with a large, wanted family. But for women who don't want kids for whatever reason, she has no right to force her theology on them. The Freedom from Religion Foundation applauded that stance. Quote, Pelosi's comments are a reminder that the U.S. was founded in large part on the idea of freedom of religion, which is only possible with a government that is free from religion. The Freedom from Religion Foundation hopes that other lawmakers similarly demonstrate an understanding about their elected positions, not giving them a license to impose their religious beliefs on others. 100%. Couldn't possibly agree more. Absolutely. This is Hemant Mehta speaking. Meanwhile, Catholic blowhard Bill Donahue insisted Pelosi wasn't a Catholic at all, something he feels he gets to decide for her. Quote, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi lied again on July 22nd when she described herself as a devout Catholic. You can't tell anybody what they do or don't believe. In science, we have this thing called the burden of proof. Science and philosophy and whatever else, logic. We have the burden of proof. You have to prove to me what you're saying is true. If you're making a claim, it's not my responsibility to validate it or believe it without evidence. You have to give me the evidence. In psychology and things like this, it's reversed. When somebody is claiming they are a Catholic or whatever else, the default position is what they said. You aren't in their head. You don't know what they think or feel or believe. You have to take people at their word. Nancy Pelosi believes in Catholicism. She goes to Mass and takes communion and all of that other shit the Catholics do. I don't fucking know what they do. She's a Catholic. If she believes it, that's what she is. The only exception to those rules are with cults, though. Because for example, with Jehovah's Witnesses, you can claim that you're a Jehovah's Witness, but unless that specific organization accepts you as one of them, you aren't. Because it's such a completely, perfectly unified structure with a central hierarchy that imposes rules and beliefs on people. If Jehovah's Witnesses say you are not a Jehovah's Witness anymore, you can say you believe in the Jehovah's Witness ideology and belief system, but you can't claim that you are a Jehovah's Witness. Similar with Mormonism. You can say you believe in Mormonism, but you can't claim to be a part of the organization unless you're a part of the organization and they accept you. That kind of thing. Anyways, let's keep reading this. This is Bill Donahue criticizing Nancy Pelosi. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi lied again on July 22nd when she described herself as a devout Catholic. Non-Catholics, never mind Catholics, know Pelosi is lying about her Catholic status. So does she. This is Hemant Mehta. And because this is Bill Donahue, he made sure to be extra racist with his comments. Quote, this is Donahue speaking. Why didn't she say it's an issue of fairness and justice for all women? Quite frankly, it sounds racist. Is that her way of taking care of the urban problem? After all, population control of African Americans is what galvanized Margaret Sanger to found Planned Parenthood. Isn't it fascinating that their minds always go there? Like, the subject was nothing about that, had nothing to do with this. And somehow, his mind went there. It makes you wonder where his head is at, when his head always always revolves around this. This is Hemant Mehta speaking again. Because poor women and women of color are disproportionately impacted by the Hyde Amendment. Donahue doesn't know these things, so he just projects his own bigotry on other people. Whatever you think of her religious beliefs, she's taking the right position on this issue. Her personal beliefs are irrelevant, and getting rid of this amendment is good public policy. If only all religious politicians took similar stances. It's an embarrassment that people continue to attack others for their religious beliefs. We saw something similar with Knothead. You guys remember him from TikTok? He was the pastor who was unhappy with the fact that Christians had this massive fucking persecution complex when being Christian becomes illegal.
Stop it!
This guy actually straight up got attacked by Christian extremists who believe that he was wrong to criticize people like this. This is the same kind of shit we're seeing here. It's Christian ISIS attacking people for completely absurd reasons. Just like I was attacked in West Virginia. Same shit. It's ridiculous and it's wrong.